Hi, my name is Bruce and I'm a partner at North52. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how the North52 Decision Suite, alongside the Microsoft Power Platform, can help insurance companies deliver a full-featured quoting system, all using no-code and low-code tools. That's right, for the functionality you're about to see, not one line of JavaScript or C# code was written. We're going to look at the process where an agent provides a quote over the phone, which is then emailed to the customer to review and pay via PowerPage's website. Let's get started. I'm on the Compare Coverage screen of my dental insurance model-driven app, and I've got a customer, Susan Dove, on the phone who is interested in taking out a dental policy. We are using the custom page feature, and I can select the various coverage options, gold, silver, and bronze. Initially, we select the 1st of April for the policy start date and add in the beneficiary details. We'll include her husband, Mike, on the policy too. Now let's just pause it here and take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. North52 rules have been set up to trigger from a call to a custom action. This enables flexibility for the rules to be used by Canvas apps and custom pages, Power Automate, or via an API call. We can see here that the action has two parameters, a JSON payload in for inbound information and a JSON payload out to return the results. This is called from our custom page when the Calculate button is selected. The custom action is run for each beneficiary, passing the required information as JSON. The North52 formula executes and uses this information to retrieve the relevant treatment exclusions and inclusions for the specified coverage. For each treatment, a premium calculation is done. This calculation is defined in another formula which looks up rating tables to determine the premium to charge. Each beneficiary is evaluated. Let's take a look at the calculation to determine the base rate. We can see here that we're using the xCashGetGlobalTable function to find the rating data. We pass in the table name, the coverage name, and we want to return the base rate for a given age and treatment, defined here as the exclusion-inclusion line of business. The policy start date is also included to ensure we look up the correct xcash table. Using Susan as our example, and the policy start date of the 1st of April 2023, we can go to our xcash tables and see where the premium base rate comes from. The 1st of April will be in this table, as we can see that this table's information is for the 1st of March onwards. Susan is 30 years old, and for the treatment of crowned re-cement, the base rate premium will be $12.10 on the Gold plan. The rate tables are used for all the different treatment types for the specified coverage, which determines the final premium amount. Now back to our model-driven app with our custom page calculating the premiums. We can see that the three policies have different premiums and coverages. The agent informs Susan that if the policy is started before the end of February, it will be cheaper, so we recalculate to find that the change premiums are indeed cheaper. The North52 rating tables determine this. Susan is okay with the earlier start date and wants the silver policy, so we create a quote. Let's pause here and look at the North52 formulas making all this happen. Once again, this is triggered by a call to a custom action, which means the create quote process could be started from a variety of sources, but in this case, it is our custom page which makes the call. Similar to the calculate premiums action, the create quote action has two parameters, a JSON payload in for inbound information and a JSON payload out to return the results. This is the North52 formula which executes when the custom action is called. The first sheet creates the policy quote record. Following that, contact records are created for the beneficiaries if they don't already exist, and adds the IDs of the contact to an array to be used in the next sheet, which creates the related party records for the policy quote. The next sheet updates the main policyholder on the quote, followed by the creation of a record which defines the coverage associated to the policy, and finally, the JSON payload out parameter of the action is output. Let's go back to our model-driven app, and we can open the quote record that has been created by the North52 rules engine and look into the finer details. For example, if we click into the coverage, we can view what's included or not included. The North52 rules engine builds this table using the silver policy template and adjusts items like waiting periods based on the policy start dates. If we go back to the quote, we can enter contact details and email the policy to Susan. We move on the business process flow, which triggers North52 rules to generate a PDF and email it to Susan. The PDF is generated from JSON data created by North52 and sent to Adobe Document Services to be processed. Once again, let's pause here and review the rules making this happen. This formula executes on stage change of the business process flow. In this case, we are moving to the confirm quote stage, and the rule shown here is to execute an action that will create a PDF for the quote. Like previous actions, this one will trigger a North52 formula to execute the rules required to generate the PDF. These rules include retrieving the policy header details, each policy beneficiary, and details of the coverages on the policy. The next step is to create a document placeholder record, which will eventually store the created PDF. A document party record is then created to relate the policy document to the document record. Finally, all the information is compiled into JSON and sent to Adobe Document Services via Power Automate Flow to render the PDF. Susan receives the email and reviews the quote. You can see all the details of the policy, including waiting periods, defined for various treatments. She can click the link in the document or email to accept and pay for the quote. Once payment has been made, the record in Dynamics is updated to reflect that the quote is now policy. Let's pause once more to review the client-side formula that renders the progress indicator on the portal. Each step on the progress indicator is represented by a decision sheet, and depending on the conditions met, the name and status may change. The conditional message displayed under the progress bar is also defined on a decision sheet. The final step is for the policy documents to be emailed to Susan. This also includes links to a register on the portal to enable claims to be processed. Be sure to see our video showing how claims are validated and processed using the North52 Decision Suite and Microsoft Power Platform.